Welcome to the Battleground of the Gods.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, Dep Nation, and joining me today we have Riggs.
Yo.
And a very special guest, Blaise McBain.
Yo, what's up? Riggs stole my intro, dude. I was going to do that because Bryce was in my chat the other day, and I felt compelled, and then you did it, and I was like, oh, I can't just copy him.
I mean, you could. I copied that one time, and it threw off the whole beginning.
It did. It does.
Yeah.
Like, if someone said welcome, challengers, to me introducing them, I would have a stutter in introducing the next person. I'd be like, wait, that's my line.
I would.
That's
never
what
stutter.
I say.
I would never stutter this episode because I'm so focused right now.
Dude, I think we're all pretty focused up.
Yeah, we're in it to win it today.
Yeah,
For
no particular reason. We're all very uncomfortable, which makes us focused.
Exactly.
So
exactly. That's the key. That's the key to getting a good podcast episode is being uncomfortable. And you know what was uncomfortable? My games this week. Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh.
I've been taking nothing but L's.
That's when you know it's a good week of Smite right there, dude.
Right. We had our new and fun diamond challenge that is coming to a close very soon. I picked Neja. Been taking L's as Neja. I just can't win with the guy. And it might be that I had random teammates. That might be like 80% of the equation. But man, it's just, you ever feel like you're being focused? Because that's what every game this week felt like for me.
Welcome to my entire Smite career. No, I'm just joking. But recently it has felt really, really bad. Especially playing Conquest. I feel that.
Like, I don't know if it's just like people are queuing into parties more with Worlds coming up. Like, maybe there's some better players online that I didn't know about. But man, like, target acquisition and it being me is wild. Because I've even tried being like the tank. Right? Going in, either pulling the backline off, or even peeling for my damage. My damage is just fucking yonder. They're nowhere to be seen. As a tank, in arena, mind you, where everybody's in the same place and it's the easiest place to get off damage as a damage character, I've done more damage than my damage. Then a Merlin. I was Erlong Shen. What the fuck is wrong with that picture?
Yeah, I don't play tanks.
He was flickering away, dude. He was like, they're going to do damage. I gotta go the opposite way. There's a fight happening.
He flickered away and got blue buff. And it's like, the fuck, dude? It's like, there's a big minion here. Do something. I
don't play arena in general, but I definitely, if I ever do, for whatever fucking reason, queue that dumb game mode, you cannot catch me playing a tank. Too many times where I'm setting up, I get like a godly like 5-man, let's say like I get like a 5-man Jing channel. I turn around and I see my team coming out of base because they needed a tier 1 item. I'm like, what the fuck is the 10 power gonna do for you when I'm over here setting up? I'm doing God's work over here, dude.
Yeah, turn around, it's gonna make sure
Timbuktu.
It makes sure they barely get away with the health, not just like 25%. They have like 18% health instead.
Right.
Yeah, it's not even like I don't even like call for it too. I'm like attack, ultimate's ready. I blink in ultim, and they're like, no, wait, I need to get my 10 power from my fucking tier 1 whatever. I'm like, why?
I had my own little diamond challenge going, Dep, where I was trying to finish all the hunters being diamond, and I had AMC and Uller left, and I was playing on the sticks as Uller.
You've been sticking?
Yeah, I have. It's not. Let me tell you, it's a time. It's a time. It's a time on Uller specifically.
I bet.
Where I was lagging and I was hitting all my axes, and I was like, "Oh, this is super sick." And then I played back on the PC on Uller, and I get BM'd immediately at the start of the match, going, "Uller's not the god for arena." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like that's great. This is my last game
opposite.
on him.
I think he is the god for the arena.
Yeah, they're like, he's bad at this, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, I'm just, cool. This is my last game to get him diamond. That's fine. They're like, well, I expect more from a diamond player, and I was like, no, like,
I'm not
Uller.
diamond yet. Don't expect things from me. Right.
Diamond Uller. Okay, so not I'm a diamond player. Let's calm this down. There's no diamond arena players. Okay.
Right.
I mean, there probably
no. You know what? Sometimes I think there are. People act like it. People act
100%.
like they're a diamond arena player.
It sounds like that guy was acting like it. Or
Yeah,
but
it was
god for this game mode. Get this god out of here.
the best part was I think at the end of that game, like I had top damage, kills, gold. Like I mean, like I was just chilling. I wasn't like
You
doing
were the
anything
top
exceptional.
screen. You were the top screen.
I was the T screen, and I was like, man, Uller's really not good.
Uller's really not the play.
you got that Oleron and Poseidon. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
That's the classic press T for good players.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's how it felt with my Erlang Shen game. I had top kills. I had top mitigated. I had top gold. Granted, the top gold was partly due to having the what is it? The War Flag starter.
About War Flag. Let's go.
Yeah. I went attack speed as Erlang Shen.
A War Flag believer, dude.
Dude, it's so easy. So I rushed Talisman and then picked up War Flag after it. So I was zooming. I would wait for our wave to clear. I'd W key at them and just start slapping the first person I got to. And I'd just run them down. And if someone peeled off to try and get to my backline, I turn. I walk towards that person. I mink at them or whatever. And then I start slapping them until the gold bonus runs out on War Flag. And then I stop. I go my own way. And it's easy gold. It's easy gold.
I could have a whole conversation around that item and how it's been notoriously bad in Smite, but like I saw it in competitive the other day and I'm still confused.
Yeah.
The only redeeming quality about that item is that you get to be Spartans eventually, and you get to yell, "We're Spartans!" Every time you proc it, you could say, "We're Spartans!" That's about it.
The fact that like that Talisman of Energy, those are both. They're very strong items, but the fact that the passives are centered around killing minions, it makes them just not as good, right?
In Conquest, yeah, because I mean, if you fight in the jungle,
that's kind of what I was pointing at.
You fight in the jungle, or you fight around a fire giant, you don't have minions to get the procs from. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I saw Maui build it the other day in comp, and I went and tried it, and that item might actually be good with just him in Conquest. Might not be good with other supports, but it feels good on him.
It's good with Sylvanas in that manner.
I
think anybody with the ranged auto, I think it would be good at. Right?
It's definitely a feels good fun item.
It is.
Yeah.
It's how I feel about Griffin Wing now, where like it feels fun. But I do feel like that item's borderline, like, if they tweak it any further, it could go that OP route.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So yeah, I played Neja twice, caught 2 L's, and at that point I decided I'm just not gonna get it. I'm not teaming up with people enough. Work's busy. I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Riggs, you've had finals.
Yes, sir.
So, busy time of year for everyone. Holidays coming up. I played I think it's All Out Assault.
Oh, yes.
I'm not. I forget which is because it's not showing up in my history.
Last Saturday was All Assault for Smite Night.
Maybe it wasn't All Out Assault. It was an assault mode. You could pick the same character. Infinite Assault, maybe.
Oh, I meant /. I'm wrong here. Yeah,
it might be. I'm the wrong person to ask about this. I cannot give a fuck. About the mode
anyways, it had bans on the front end. You ban the healers, easy peasy. Enemy team picks 3 Hercules, an Atlas, and a E-set. And so for my team, one guy hovered Vulcan, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's all do Vulcan. I hover Vulcan as well. And then the rest of my team picks trying to pick an actual team, and I'm like, that's not how you do this. Right? That's not how this goes. But so we load in. We've got the 4 tanks and an E-set that we're up against. So what do? I get anti-heal for my first 2 items, the starter and Divine Ruin. And it works to an extent, but also like they're just able to like walk under tower with 0 repercussions. And there is a point where we're chilling under tier 2 and they're sitting out, they laugh spam, and then they go and try and freeze the wave. And I'm like, you guys realize that like you could still walk under tower and kill us probably. Like, we're not doing this because it's like, oh, you guys don't have a tank, you're all cowards. It's like, no, like this has to be our strategy, right?
Yeah.
So, and each one of them, of course, got, blink, sprint, the rooting sprint, and just
I'm assuming
all
assuming a
sorts
bunch
fun
of shield of
stuff.
regrowths as well.
Yeah, there were a couple shells.
I love that.
That they got. Because we had 2 Vulcans, they got some Stones of Gaia. Fun stuff.
Fun interactive items.
Fun interactive items that it's a sad time when you try and meme, but the rest of your team doesn't. And then the enemy team wins because they memed, but they're shitty people about it. So, if you're wondering how my week's going, that's that. Riggs, did you actually have any games with finals, or
Yes, sir.
were you dark? Were you dark mode?
No, I played a bunch yesterday after we got done pre-recording an episode.
Okay.
So I'll tell you guys before we started. I got a new mouse yesterday as my Christmas present to myself.
Yeah,
the
Decepticon.
little Decepticon Logitech mouse. And so I'm still trying to like mess around with the DPI and the sensitivity in game, like find a good sweet spot, because I think this one's DPI is a little bit higher, so I'm messing around with that. Finally got it to a spot where I like it, so I go to test it. And who else do I play besides Thor when I'm trying to test mechanics? Right? I feel like Thor and Uller are the 2 top, I think, in my opinion, of
Hit the wall, hit
working
the
on
double
mechanics
tap.
and stuff and figuring
It's a
stuff out.
solid. Yeah.
So I play Thor, Jungle, and Conquest. I go 20-0.
Nice.
I think my mouse is working fine. It was an
Nah,
It's a far
experience.
cry from being on the sticks.
Yeah, let me tell you, that's I think I tried Thor on the sticks and it did not go well, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
that's
So-
tough. Thor on the sticks is tough.
Fun fact, I soloed Weekend on as Thor on the sticks. I have a clip.
go.
Dep seen it.
I have a clip that I
It's-
saved last PTS. I was against Nika, Benny Q, I don't remember who else, but they rotated over to my lane because, carry, everybody likes to party over there for some reason sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was Danzin Burrow, and I picked up a double, and on Nika's stream, he goes, yo, that guy's goated. And I'd have that saved, because if everything goes wrong for like a solid week, I can just go back and watch that and feel like slightly better about my smite time for the week.
I have
Okay,
I have a
cutting in
similar
real
one.
quick. We need to have Yo That's Goated as the feuding ground clip for Blaise.
That should be it. Yeah, dude. that would be
should
better.
be it.
That'll be better than the other 2 that we came up with.
Right.
It's funny too, because like I watch Nika stream a lot too, and so I could hear his voice perfectly say that, where he's got like his headset mic, so it's a little bit better quality. He's like, "Yo, that guy's goated."
Yeah.
I could hear it. I have a similar story as the opposite side of the coin, where I have a clip. Actually, I don't have it anymore, obviously, because things have happened. But there was a clip going around that I had saved for a while where I had DM Brandon flaming me on stream.
Oh no.
Because I was his mid laner, and it was right when I switched to PC. I've been playing on console for a couple years. It was right when I switched to PC, and I was playing mid. And I was playing Raijin, and I went to go... He was my jungler, and he was getting dove on, and I went to go use, like, the fear part of the ult.
Mhm.
But just, I don't know what my brain was doing. I accidentally hit my right click, because I thought that would switch my thing, so I just canceled my ult in front of him, and then he died.
Oh man. That's
So
tough.
then I was like, oh, I know he's streaming. So after the game, I went back and looked at it, and he, of course, just naturally as he does, yo, what the fuck is this Raijin doing? This guy's a fucking asshole, blah, blah. And starts typing in chat. Did you just cancel your fucking old blah, blah?
Oh my god,
It's great. I've never felt better about myself after that. I was like, I feel like that's my
good.
that's like
That's
a
too
rite of
good,
passage.
dude. That's
like a rite of
That's
passage.
perfect.
That's good stuff.
But yeah, anyway, went 20-0 on Thor jungle. They had an outwash mid, so obviously I ate that dude up. He went 2-13. It's funny, Dep, when you were talking about getting focused. That happens to me every once in a while, but more often than not, it's me doing that to somebody else, and I highly encourage doing that because it makes the game really fun sometimes.
Oh, yes. I have a thing from last night where we did that because a dude DM'd my team some very inappropriate comments that he got reported for. But we made it our mission that even though we were hard winning the game, like hard winning, we're like, all right, now we're going to make sure this Poseidon dies as many times as possible. And we actually threw the game. We threw the game.
Throw the game to kill Poseidon. That's
and he spam laughed
now.
at the end and then said GG. I was like, no shot this guy thinks like
He's
came out
good.
victorious here. He went, I don't even remember. He went like 2-18. We made sure, like if he was on the map, I was Kernenbog and I literally flew over to him and killed him on cooldown. At one point, I didn't even want to kill him with autos. I dash killed him just to like send the message of like, get out of my game.
I did that to this upwatch a little bit. I would wait for him to come out of base. I would hide right where the green buff is, like right in that little entrance between the green buff and the wall. And I would wait for him to come out of base, just wall him, hammer him, double tap, auto, kill him, and walk away. And then I'd wait there again. I'd go clear his red buff, and I'd wait. I'd ult the next time. I'd just be hovering in the air waiting for him to go down to Phoenix.
Oh my god, dude.
It was great.
You guys are fucking menaces.
Dude, you gotta do it. It's like you're saying.
You gotta do it.
You're on the receiving end of it, and you're like, this game sucks. If you're on the like doing it end, it's fucking great, dude. The game feels awesome. You feel untouchable.
Have you ever done it where so like in Joust we had a Neath that obviously didn't know what was going on once, and our goal was to not kill the Neath the entire game. And so we killed her teammates but left the Neath alive. We won the game, so the Neath goes like 0-0 and like 2 or something. But like her teammates are like something in 10 each. So like this Neath feels like she is doing impeccable compared to her teammates because she hasn't died. Like we've just let her live. And it wasn't like we didn't auto attack her. Like we made sure to like poke at her so it didn't
get her low, make her realize like, oh, I'm taking damage, I need to get out, but not actually finishing the job. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta
really
add
fun.
that little extra strategy in there to make it interesting.
Well, and it's that like helping a new player learn. You hope, right?
Yeah. You hope.
Dude, I would be so, I'm just imagining, I've never done that before. I'm imagining being on the receiving end of that and just being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they're just not killing me. I'm like, what? Like, I should be dead. And you guys just walked away.
Yeah, she'd like backflip and she'd be under time. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just go farm. It's fine. Let's like let her chill over there. And then her teammates walk up and we just walk up, mop them, but she backflips out and runs away. And we're like, oh, cool. We'll just leave her alone and go do our thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Clearly, she's not a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're too big of a threat to deal with. We're going to deal with everybody else. You can live.
Yeah, she clearly wasn't building Mannequin Scepter into Hidden Blade and then one-shotting us with her ultimate. So we were okay.
Right.
That's a classic.
That is... get a little Heartseeker Crusher going. Titan's Bane.
I don't ever do that build, but I tried it this week. It's pretty good.
You hit. Hit really hard.
But I was on the receiving end of that recently. I was playing jungle and I got 1,000. I think it was 1,300 damage by a Neath ult to me out of the nowhere. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a nice wake-up call. It's a real good reality check, especially if you're like schmooving around the map doing well, and then you just catch a Neath ult out of nowhere, and you're like, this god's in the game. Got it. Let me make sure that she is on the gray screen.
I've seen one before where it's like a mage was like 1 HP, so the other hunter was like, oh, I'll take this Neath ult for you, and the hunter takes it and takes like 90% of their health bar from him, and they're like, oh shit. But another game that I had, and I don't, as we all know, I'm super humble. Don't ever like to brag about anything. You know, it's a hard life to live, but I'll gladly take the burden of doing it. I don't want to say I was right, but remember a couple weeks ago when I was like, yo, keep an eye on Runeforged Hammer for starting out in solo.
Yes.
Got a shit ton of sustain on it. Good power, good health. I mean,
I've been picking that up so much these past few weeks.
I have a story for you, Riggs.
It's been,
I told someone to build that build.
It's been being built a little bit on certain characters at high level. I've been building it on characters I can proc it, and it's pretty fucking good, dude. Let me tell you. I mean, I hated myself when I played this game because I played Nike, and I don't know why I did that, to be honest. But I went up against a Hercules. I don't think he knew how to play, to be honest. He went 1 in 10, and I soloed him 4 times in the first 5 minutes.
Well, and it's one of those things. Maybe he didn't get his role.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he
and
built
he's
fine.
like, oh, Hercules.
He just didn't know how to play, really. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, like I said, maybe he didn't know because solo, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't know how to play solo. So,
but yeah, I went Runeforged, Glad Shield, Heartward Amulet with the upgrade that gives you the shit ton of prots for physical. Those 3 items are pretty good, man.
Yeah, Stronghold's OP.
Yes, sir. I'm glad they haven't touched it because it's really, really good. It's one of the only really good tank items, I'd say.
Yep.
What's your story about Runeforged, Blaise? I'm curious because I've been championing Runeforged for a little bit.
Yeah, I was listening to that episode and I heard your build and I was like, I'm practicing with the team right now. I was like, hey, I need you to try this build. I was like, just try it on these gods. Let me know what you think. And both games, the solo laner's like, this is crap, dude. Like, this is just absolute garbage. And I was like, I don't think you're doing this right. Like, something's wrong here. Because, like, it has to be good. Like, it has to be good. And I was like, it's going to be built in SPL this week. Like, I looked at it. I was like, it has to be good. And he kept going, it's this Runeforged Hammer that's really keeping me from, like, doing well this game. And I was like, I don't think that's the case, dude. I don't think that's what it is.
That's not it.
And I think we had really bad matchups for those games for him to be doing the Runeforge. So like me giving him like a pre-built build that he should do before the game probably did not do him any service.
Yeah.
But it was last night I'm casting and I saw a Thanatos, like a jungle Thanatos, just build Runeforge out of nowhere, and I was like, "Excuse me?" And this man,
the one slows.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
I might have to start picking that up.
I was like, excuse me? What is this jungle doing with Runeforged Hammer? And then he started landing 4-man ults, and I was like, oh, he just kills them immediately afterwards because they can't go anywhere.
Yep.
It procs on the silence as well. The 1, the 3, and the ult if you just use it for a stun.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm telling you, man. Like in solo, I wouldn't say like build it all the time.
And then the 2's already a stim, so you're stimming on top of the bonus.
Yeah. In solo, I wouldn't build it. I wouldn't build it all the time in solo, but like if you're a god that has like at least 2 ways, I'd say, of proccing it, and you're going up against someone that you don't need to rush defense on, then I would build it because it's really, really, really good.
I think we tested on Set and Rat.
Yeah, Set's really good with it. Rat, I would say he kind of needs the early prots, I'd say, but you can get away with it. Then
I agree. It's good on Artemis too for anybody that's a ADC player and wants to have a good time.
Fire on Artemis, yeah.
You get Runeforge and
Frostbound,
Frostbound Malicious Deathbringer, and you're in for a good time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's a classic.
So then you could probably pick up the crit arrow as your starter and
get Wind Demon.
Probably get an attack speed or a pen item.
I've done it before. I'm just saying, like it's you get your cooldown up all the time. You're schmoovin', they're not schmoovin'. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Fuck Wind Demon, man.
Dude, that item is so bloated.
As a primary tank player, I don't know how the item's been. At least the passive for that item hasn't been like majorly nerfed in the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate of nerfing Wind Demon, and I've talked about this like all the time, like because my main role has like swapped to ADC, but I've played like jungle as a main role and support and solo, and like that item across roles is just insane.
Right.
The passive on that item, like if you take the pin off of it, I think it's fine, but like that item's nuts.
It doesn't need pen. You have crit. Crit is your pen.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
but
like there's only one item that counters crit in the game.
At 2.
Yeah,
And then that character has to fully commit.
So yeah, I mean, we have the idea that like
really one.
Yeah, really one. Like
horrific emblem is the one that people say, and I'm like, not really. Like, there's Spectral should be aura crit, like anti-crit. I think that would, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
It should be aura. That's what I've been saying for a long time. It should give like a sovereignty style 20% reduced to teammates, and maybe give it more for the person wearing it.
Yeah,
but have it be the aura for a smaller amount, right?
We know that like the aura stacks on the user, so like just leave it as it currently is, or like reduce it by like 5%, and then give like a 15% anti-crit to everybody else. Like at least makes it a little bit more viable to want to buy, because you still have like solo laners, junglers, and supports that don't want to touch Spectral. Like it doesn't do enough.
Right.
But if you talk to League players right now, they're not happy about their current play style, where they got rid of like being able to buy crit in a lot of ways, because they're in a tank meta right now, and you have to build what their version of like pin is.
Yeah.
And they're missing crit. So you know, maybe if we just got rid of crit, we'd miss it. I don't know.
You know, maybe if we got rid of protections and pen, you know,
I have an
idea. and crit, then we'd be fine.
I don't know.
I
think
only power.
Let's buff Thorns again.
Dude, I'm down for that too. We did get a buff recently.
Buff Thorns again, and smooth brain ADC players don't slam your auto attacks into someone that's Thornsing you. And
okay, so here's
Thorns is.
Here's the problem.
But here's the thing: we have to reduce the amount of damage that tanks are doing, so that they can't Thorns, and then in the interval that Thorns is up, do your entire health bar.
No, that's fine. Because here's the I'm okay with that. That's fine. Here's the thing, Riggs. Sometimes the tanks pop Thorns, and I want to send a message, and I will auto attack them anyway, and they'll die, and I might die in repercussion of doing that. But they know that I don't care about their Thorns anymore, and the only reason I do it is because they're going to pop it during a team fight early, expecting me to attack them, and I don't do it. And it's the best thing ever. It's like, I am going to go ahead and look dumb now, but it's going to pay off like later, in dividends later, because they're like, all right, I'm going to Thorns this hunter, he's going to attack me, and I just blow up their carry. And they're like, wait a minute. I'm like, don't worry, guys, Thorns is off the board.
Yeah, see, but you have smart teacher brain. So you're an exception to the ADC class, because I feel like the ADC class as a whole kind of just lemming follows Zapman, and Zapman will just auto somebody with Thorns for no. He will just do it, and he'll say, "Dude, tanks are OP, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Killing me," and I'm just like, "What are you doing?"
Zap does.
What are you doing?
He does spread the propaganda, dude.
And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, hi-res, we have decided to nerf Thorns into the ground. And Zapman's like, yes!
Yeah, he's like, yes! They nerfed Thorns and Nemean, sign me up!
Yeah, dude.
Right.
And then Zapman will just run around crit, 3-shotting people and go, dude, this is crazy. I missed 5 autos. I still killed him that fast. That's weird.
That's just strange.
Bring back old Nemean.
Fun fact, I did actually buy Thorns in that game I was playing. Back to my games. I bought Thorns
sorry,
game.
we really ranted there for a second, my bad.
I bought Thorns in that game, and I've been doing something fun every once in a while. I don't think Thorns is that good, but I miss using Thorns, you know, so every once in a while I'll buy it as like a nostalgia kind of trip. And it does like provide some use every once in a while. But if you buy the Thorns that goes down and cooldown whenever you get auto attacked, I don't think that one's like that great, but it has a really short cooldown. It's only 80 seconds. And then if you buy like a Relic Dagger, it's down to like almost like a 5th ability at that point, where it's such a low cooldown.
Yeah, you have Kuzenbo too. You're happy.
Yeah,
right?
Essentially, because it goes down if you get autoed plus the Relic Dagger, plus it's already pretty short. Yeah. So it's like you basically have a 5th ability in Thorns, and it's kind of fun. It's not that great, but it's fun to mess around with. Another game. This is an absolute banger, dude. So Trevor hops on and he goes, "Yo, you slam some Qs?" And I go, "Yes, sir." So we're slamming some Qs. I play Arthur solo, Runeforged.
Wait,
obviously.
are these ranked Qs?
No. This was just a casual conquest. Slamming some Arthur with Runeforged because Arthur has a bajillion wasted procket. So I think it's pretty good. And I'm going to bring us an Ao Kuang. kind of shit on him in lane. It is what it is, you know. It's me, yeah. What do you expect?
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
What do you? Of course.
Do you guys want to take a guess on how long this game lasted? Because I will tell you, it is over 50 minutes long.
Oh my god! You had one of those bangers. I'm gonna say 63 minutes.
Dep, you have an answer?
I don't. It's
above 50.
Like, it's above 50. Here's the thing: you didn't say it's above 60. It's in the 50 range. I think 53.
Ooh, you're pretty damn close. It's 55 minutes.
55. Oh, that's
we love those games.
Yeah,
so
did you win at least?
Oh yeah, we won.
Okay.
Because they threw. They had this was their team, right? I want you to just imagine this team. They had a Kronos, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you the roles. They had a Kronos. I already told you they had an Ao Kuang solo, so I'll give you that one away. They had a Janice. They had an Apollo.
Okay.
And they had a Maui.
Okay.
So they had an Apollo support naturally. They had a Maui jungle.
Oh boy.
A Kronos ADC, a Janice mid, and Ao Kuang solo. And then so that game, basically the whole thing that came down to this game was, anytime we had a fight, it was always like a 4-for-4, and 2 people would just walk away, and nothing would happen. That happened probably like 7 or 8 times. So nothing would happen after it. There would be a massive fight, everybody would die, and then just like wash and reset. And finally, their Ao Kuang tried to dive our Rama, and Rama killed him because guess what? He had crit. That's crazy. And he killed him, and then we ended up winning the game. I was a little annoyed because I ended up not with top damage by 500 or 300. I was 300 off from top damage from our Zeus mid.
Oh, Zeus?
Zeus.
The fact that you were less than 500 damage away from top against a Zeus, like.
Well, I mean, I was face rolling my keyboard. As Arthur,
as you do
naturally. Yeah, 69,000 damage. That was a fun game.
Numbies.
Against 4 magical too, so I just got to build really fun items. And Runeforged, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That was a banger game.
You probably... Oh, what is... Did you get that one heart ward that turns your magical into physical?
Yes,
procs?
sir. So I went Runeforged, Genji's, Glad Shield, and then Amulet, and then Pestilence. And then Brooch, obviously, because Brooch is OP. But... and then I followed that banger of a game up with a Kumba solo game. Another classic game. The triple pen Kumba solo is a banger.
You've been doing the Kumba the Kumba with just damage
triple
and
flat
solo
ped, dude. Triple flat ped Kumba solo.
Styling
bangs
on people.
You go Book of Thoth into whatever flat pen items you want after that. I went Divine Deso. And I ulted the clean. I went up against a Kleena who was also going full damage. Yeah. And I ulted her Wonder, and she died. I didn't have to 2 her. It was awesome.
Wild.
It was fun. Really, really interactive, I'm sure, on her part. And then my last game, for some reason, I do this to myself every once in a while. Yep. Where I'm like, I love playing Erling. And so I was like, you know what? I got queued into solo again. I was like... Maybe this game will be different. Maybe I'll have a good game on Erling solo this time. Maybe he's not dog shit in solo. He's definitely dog shit in solo.
Dog shit.
I don't know why I did this to myself.
He's I've been there. Don't worry. Yeah,
he's not.
You want him to be good.
He's not bad early, but I mean, like, he just falls off a fucking cliff in solo. Like, it got to a point where there's nothing much I can do late game. Yeah. We ended up losing that game. And I don't know why I keep doing that. It's like a pattern, right? It's like Smite. It's like the Smite metas, right? First off, it's a tank meta, right? Then it goes back to a tank meta, and it goes back to a tank meta. And it's like me with Erling. I'm like, maybe Erling's good in solo. Nope. Maybe he's good in solo. Nope. Maybe he is good in solo. Nope. And just rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And those are my games.
I feel that.
Blaise, how are your games?
So I've been in every single one of these situations that we've talked about, in the sense of, like, I've been in the Dep games where, like, I have 4 people in my lane at like 7 minutes, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. What are we doing over here, guys? That happened a few times last night. And it's not my team, by the way, that's coming with 4 people. It's the enemy team.
Yes.
Where I'm like, hey, I'm bopping your ADC because they don't hit autos and I do. And then, like, all of a sudden, the support, the jungle, and the mid laners there. That happened last night. And I was like, oh, there's an Anubis here. That's super cool. Why did he and, like, the 3 other people need to ult? I don't know. But whatever.
It's because you can hit autos, and they said you're a threat. Because if there's anything I've realized, the more and more I play this game, just auto attack builds for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reliable form of damage.
I had someone queue with me last night. I think it was Asmore ran crit Gilgamesh in Corrupted Arena, and oh my god, dude! It was he had Arrow, Atalantis Bow, Wind Demon, and dude, he was popping people. Oh, it was a good time.
It's so much attack speed.
It's so much attack speed. I've had that situation. I talked about how we focused at Poseidon last night. Mm-hmm. But some of my personal favorites that I've been having is I had an absolutely banger of a game on Ishtar where they're on our Titan. Like, we're losing. Mm-hmm. There are 5 people on our Titan, and I have been chasing a Conquest Penta for freaking years at this point. Okay, the only one I have is in comp. It doesn't count. Okay, it counts to me, but in the game it doesn't count.
In the game,
and
it doesn't.
I've had it where, like, I'm Dons and Burrow. I'm getting ready. I fire the auto, and then my Kukulane pops 2 rage and then kills them, and spam laughs me. I've had teammates take it, #Emperite 2022. I've had, that happened this week, so at least it was after this situation. But, like, I haven't been able to get it. And I spawn, all 5 are on our Titan. And Gactel's in my ear, and he goes, Blaise, this is your chance to get a Penta. I said, I need you to absolutely be quiet. We can't have
right.
that. We can't have that being said right now. We can't tell the people that there's a chance for it because it won't happen. And me and Odibo do some work because I watched an Odibo proc hit 3 people, and all 3 of them, I Thanos snapped them. Like, they all 3 died at the same time. That's game wild. Didn't know what to do. My children are yelling in the background, let's go. So if you hear that, that's actually kind of funny.
Let's go!
Like,
let's go! Yo, the hype is transcending the Blaise McShane household. You got the hype. Keep going with it.
Yeah. But, like, it all 3 of them die so quickly that, like, the count, like, the you got killed, double kill, triple kill, like, actually stops on my screen. Like, it doesn't happen. Oh no! And then I pop somebody else, and at this point, I'm like, I didn't know if I had the Quadra or not, because this Odibo proc like actually just demolished everybody. And there's an Achilles and me, and I turn around and I fire the blades. I hit him right as he's getting ready to stun me, and if the stun lands, I'm pretty sure I die. Like, I'm pretty sure he stuns me, autos me, dashes me, I'm dead. And I get the stun off, fire an auto, and I got the Penta, and I was like, let's go. All right, we can turn this around.
Yeah.
We go to Enhanced Fire. All 5 of them are on Enhanced Fire. It's me in my set solo. And Hockey's playing him. Hockey's like, all right, I'm going to go in. I was like, dude, I got this. You don't even have to go in. Like, I'm going to steal this. This is what I do. I was born for this. I have over 100. I have over 100 objective steals in regular play, not including, like, scrims and comp, in less than 3 years. Like this is it. This is my moment. I steal Enhanced Fire Giant. But when I do this, they all turn on me. And I was like, oh, I'm dead. So I dash the other way. In order for
danger.
yeah, this isn't good. Like, I'm gonna dash the other way and at least try to get them. Like, I can try to turn and burn, like, at least one of them, trade out, and everybody else can get out. No, my team decides to go with me, and we lost the game.
You know what's funny is I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah, it's on TikTok. Yeah, it is a time. It says, like, Penta check, Enhanced Fire Giant deal check, defeat. Like it was a time. It's one of those things where I feel weird about carry over the past season. Of, like, I feel like you can get really ahead and you can dictate a piece of the game, but you can't dictate the game to be around you as the carry, and that feels really strange in Smite. I think it's gotten better over the season, but I feel like we're kind of, like, shifting back towards that a little bit. Where you can absolutely pop off as carry, but, like, once you hit 20 minutes, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, you're just going to get dove, and if it's a team that communicates, you're going to get dove, you're dead, and your team can lose off of it. And that feels kind of bad. I like that that's obviously counterplay, but the fact that the carry role doesn't feel like it can carry the whole game if you get ahead feels kind of weird. Like, if you get against a Fed solo laner, like, they're going to carry the game. Fed junglers, probably going to carry the game. But carry's in a weird spot with that, I guess.
Yeah, you need to facilitate carry. I think still, you just can't.
You do.
It's not a one-man job. But like if you play around carry, like if your carry gets fed and you facilitate the carry and you play around him, it's super hard to fight into.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
On the thing of Pentas, I thought I was gonna get another one this week. I think I was playing Neath, and because it was a viewer request, and I was running down. I got the double, I got the triple, and I was like, "This is it. I'm gonna get." I said, "Quit attacking the Titan. I'm getting this Penta. Like I'm gonna get him on the respawn, get the Penta."
Yep.
And this idiot on the enemy team decides to dive Embright on Merlin on the Titan, and he throws out his ice onto the Titan and got the kill and got my Penta. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! That's how it happened." That's how it happened. I also had a Penta that got taken away from me by them F6ing before I killed the last person in the past month.
That's happened to me several times.
And that makes me
F6
upset.
before I got the Penta, and it's like, cowards!
Yeah,
You know,
I say something in chat after those games. I'm like, you guys are cowards. You guys suck.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Other than that, games have been pretty good. I won a 8-minute and 12-second joust 2 nights ago.
That's solid.
That was very quick.
You powered through that.
Yeah.
That's fuck.
I was playing in a 5-stack, and we went against the same team 2 games in a row, and we beat them both those. I think, or maybe did we trade? Hold on, let me double check that. No, we lost them the first game, and then the first game we beat them, the second game we lost them, and they played pretty well. The second game they played like much better of a team, and we go.
Yep.
So this happened Friday night. Last night we queue again. We're queuing as a 5-stack, different 5-stack. And we run into them again with one of their players swapped out. And I was like, nah, these guys are getting bopped. I said, this game is not going to be close. And I made sure of that by playing Chernobog, and I made their team absolutely angry. Like I was just ulting across the map, just running at people for fun. So that was a good time. Other than that, it's been pretty chill. I played Rama this week because that was requested, and I went 13-0-9. That got kind of slaps.
Yes, sir.
I didn't buy Silver Branch, and that made me sad because I misclicked and bought Atalantis, but it worked out.
You know.
Other than that, I've been casting a lot of Smite for Albion Giants League. I've been casting on my channel because they don't have production right now. So I had the opportunity to cast with Killjoy, who is the person that finished second. Or no, he won. Sorry, he won. So you think you can cast for chair 2s? So I got to cast with him. Was an absolute awesome set. We casted a final set, and then last night I casted a set from Reap Smite to Draft League, and I got to cast with Frog from the SOC. And I probably saw the best Maui I've ever seen been played. They had this player named Rachel, 4-man landfalls on cooldown. Like just absolutely dictated game 3 around landfall. It was insane. It has to feel good. It has to feel good. Unfortunately, they lost because they didn't, watch out for the backdoor Horus play to end the game. They have a Horus. They can ult into your base, bro. Come on.
Scummy,
Anyways,
dude. That's scummy.
Oh, I've seen some stuff this week in cast. We had a game where all 5 took a Phoenix, and we thought they could end. Like, they had, I think, one person up, and everybody else was on timers by like 15 seconds, and they left. And the way they ended up winning the game is their ADC, I think it was, ran into Titan Room, started autoing the Titan as the Phoenix came up, and had his whole team run to him, and they ended the game with all 3 Phoenixes up.
That's wild.
I've seen some like crazy games this week. I was like, what is going on, dude?
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of casting. That's been fun. I've been really enjoying that. So, but other than that, nothing like super interesting game-wise that I can completely remember. I've just been playing random stuff. I've been doing A to Z ADC. That's a time. If you ever want to challenge yourself, let me tell you, A is very dense, and it will make you think and question everything about your Smite life. Especially playing RDO carry. Makes you think a lot. Ares carry. Arachne took me 4 games, I think, and I have a rule that after 3 I can move on. And I almost moved on Arachne. I was super frustrated.
Yeah,
I was
tough.
fed in every game and couldn't finish them out.
So you're doing it where you have to win each time. Because I've seen different variations
Yeah.
where they just play it
play.
So-
You didn't win.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get dubs. I want a dub on every god on the roster in ADC. I have
That's the way
done
to
all
do it.
of the A's. I'm on Baba
Yeah.
Yaga. I tried it for a game. I have not went back because my games have just been rough. Like,
Yeah.
and I just haven't felt like it. Like Riggs is coming up having to do finals. I'm giving finals, so like things have been super stressful on that front. Test day is the best day though, so that's what you have to remember. That's what I
Yeah.
tell my students, and they hate it. But I am doing that. It's been a nice change of pace and makes me like really think about builds and like how to counter a matchup that I'm obviously meant to lose.
Yeah.
So like a wheelish
get hit.
carry. Yeah, a
Don't get
wheelish
hit by
carry.
hoes.
It feels so good because I got matched against someone with leaps that game, and they were playing Yamoja, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna rip tie your teammate? Ah, thanks, bud. Let me pull
And
those
then
back to
you
them.
pull one back. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
tough.
You're gonna rip Ted next to my tower. Watch this."
Flip over them and then body block them to keep them from getting back
Yeah.
to the Riptide. Yeah.
That's something. That's something I
huge.
think that everybody should play solo for a little bit in Conquest, just for that factor where you learn how to play matchups and you learn how to lose a matchup, but like not lose it to the point where you're out of the game. You know, like because like that's literally all solo is matchups basically. You learn how to do your matchup. You learn where you're strong, where they're strong, how to play around being strong, how to play around them being strong, how to lose and not lose the game off of it, how to win and not throw. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff like that.
I have a newer player that I've been teaching to play. I guess they're probably several months now. Like they're above account level 40 now. But like they're like, I want to play solo, and I was like, okay, because like it is like a lot of people will argue like it's not the hardest role to play, but like that's where I started my comp experience and really just playing Conquest. When I played with like Rick, Nev, Gokinator, and Silent Aces, I think is with the team that I played with. He was there too, I believe. And I played solo, and you learn a lot about yourself as a player very quickly, because if you get punished, your whole entire team gets punished. And it's not like other roles where like you can kind of make up for that. Like ADC has some similarities right now in the sense of like you get left alone pretty early. So like if you lose either of your side lanes, like that really topples over into jungle, support, mid. And you feel it a lot in solo. I watched a match last night where like, oh, you know, these solo laners are going to slap fight each other for a while. It's Kukulane and King Arthur. First Blood was down at 30 seconds, and that dictated the game. Like that really changed the entire pacing of the game based off that one solo kill. So I do think it's a lot about learning matchups. My problem is with teaching Azamor solo is every time he plays solo, he gets matched against someone that's not playing a god you see in solo. Like he's against like the Cronoses, the Apollos, you know, just like stuff you generally don't see in normal, I guess like comp type of games when you're trying to teach someone like how to play. It's hard to be like, oh, well, your counter matchup this game is you need to build this, which sucks because that's typically how you don't have to build.
Right.
Yeah, see, I think that's a good thing though, because then that if you go up against someone's learning how to play solo and they go up against someone like playing Chrono or something like that teaches you how to play against a backliner as a frontline.
Yeah,
because I think playing frontline is super hard. I think it's the hardest role in the game to play as frontline support and solo. I think backline's way easier.
I agree. I think backline has some things that do make it easier. The problem I have is it's not. I think the biggest problem is the communication of who is going to be frontline and backline. I think that's what makes those roles so hard. Is if you have two people that aren't communicating, or don't play off of each other, then that gets very hard for team fights because you need to know who's the dedicated diver and who's the dedicated peeler.
Yes.
I think that's one thing I had in really good sync when I played with Silent Aces is me and him like really played well off of each other in sense of knowing when we had to get out, even if it wasn't calmed, the other person have to go in, because the last thing you want to do is like leave your carries by themselves to self peel. I've been on teams where that's the plan. Like, oh, your carries will just self peel. Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Absolutely not.
My personal favorite in a multi-page document that I saw recently was that the jungle was going to be the peeler, the backliner they were going to be the peel, and the support and solo were going to dive. And I was like, oh, what's your jungle building? And let me tell you, that was a time to watch, which I think that can work if you're running like a warrior jungle. but
Or
that
like
wasn't
like
the
an
case.
Athena.
Yeah, you're running something like that where you have the peel, sure. But this, like, I've seen some strange things. But I do agree. I think playing frontline like those tank roles is hard because you do need the comms. You really do.
Here's what it comes down to, right? Playing frontline, especially like solo, and you're diving, you need to worry about cooldowns. You need to know their damage versus your defense, how much you can take. You need to know your damage, how much, like how effective your dive can be. If you're playing backline, you really just have to worry about relic usage and hitting your shit. That's really about it. And like obviously positioning for both, but I mean like the main difference is relic usage and just hit your shit at the right time. Is not much more than that. You can be successful if you just do those things. So, but
Yeah,
tanks are
mages
OP.
hit your stuff. No,
It all comes back to that Merlin that was flickering backwards yonder, going for the blue buff when there was a team fight going on.
Yeah, flicker in. What are you talking about? That's what I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Always aggressively flicker.
You're making me want to play comp again, Blaise.
Yeah, I keep
If
torturing
I-
myself with that. I keep doing
If
it.
I could guarantee the time, I would do it.
So I had a team ask me to sub, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Cool, I'll do it." And I sub jungle. They added me to the team, and if I made calls early, we were winning the fights early. But our mid laner was supposed to be doing all the shout calling, and I'm not gonna get into all that. But like one day he was calling, he was like, "All right, we're gonna play around Odin Cage," and I was like, "We can't play around Odin Cage. Like we can do that like once, but we can't do that every fight." And no, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right, I'm gonna shut up my own because I got told I was being selfish by trying to like argue a call, and I was like, fine, I will shut up and mind my own business. I go in this Odin Cage, dog. You know what they do? They pre-beats my ult, and I get absolutely obliterated by a Mercury that just goes pop pop with his fists, and I blow up like a balloon, and then they just ran the game. I was like, you can't play your whole entire comp around Odin ult.
No.
In fact, I got flamed by the coach after a set that we won or a game that we won, because I questioned a call about like where we could go macro play wise, and this guy goes in on me for like 20 minutes, and I was like, this guy doesn't know that I'm gonna sit here in silence for this, like this time, and I'm not gonna talk until the next game starts, and I just popped off the next game. I just absolutely like obliterated the enemy team. And then I left. I got to the calls, and like this team was weird. I haven't been on a team that does like long team talks. Like I've been on teams that like they talk afterwards. This team would actually like talk and do constructive criticism beyond the coach. Like the actual team players actually did constructive criticism for like over an hour. I was like, yo, I can't. I'm not like we're playing amateur Smite, bro. Like we're not playing. we're not playing pro level. We're not getting paid for this. And it was super strange. I mean, shout out to those guys for having that much dedication, but like it was a strange time. But like I keep playing comp rigs, and I part of me likes it, but there's the other part of me is like, why do I do this to myself? I don't know.
Blaise, let's make a team together and let's only play stealth characters every game.
Yes, you can sign me up for that, dude. I'll play the Morgan every game.
We'll have a theme team. That's what it'll be. We're
menaces.
only allowed to play stealth characters
Until they ban them out. They just ban all 5 stealth. Like, oh, gotta FF that game.
Yeah, then we just don't show up.
Yo, for the people that want ranked arena, let me tell you, I've been playing in Albion Giants added a non-conquest league. You don't want that. You don't want that smoke. You do not want that smoke. I've learned that. You don't want it. Playing against GM and Masters players that play like comp arena, bro, get me out. Yeah, I could keep up. We played Slash, almost beat them. Sorry, not Slash. They had Clash, Siege, Assault that wasn't random. It was Draft Assault.
Ew.
Yeah,
That's
disgusting.
gross.
Disgusting. And then Arena and Joust. Joust, we had a really good plan, and we forgot about Ares, and that was a bad time. But you don't want comp arena. I'm just letting you know. There's no comms for that.
Ares isn't.
That sounds awful.
Ares.
I hate
It
arena
was.
in general.
Isn't horrible.
It was awful. Absolutely. I've played a lot of tournaments and comp arena. was the worst thing I played.
Yeah, that sounds not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I played against the Titans from last year. I played against them in a tournament. They were minus Benji. They had Freya instead. Fun fact, I thought I could solo Paul, and I, in fact, could not. He had low health, man. He had half health on Hell.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
The
I walked in the lane.
It just seems to bend differently for them.
I did solo Aurora, though, and I paid the price for that like 3 minutes later and got corner camped by their whole team. But yeah, I looked at Paul and Hell, he's half health. I was like, oh, I got this. And then he bought me with Dark Stance immediately. And I was like, oh, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
I just say that happened to me with Paul too in a community tournament. I was diving him. He was playing. Who was he playing? He was playing like Hera or something. Oh no, he was playing Hell. I think he was playing Hell as well. And yeah. Oh no, he was playing Zeus. That's right. He was playing Zeus. It just came to me.
Are you sure?
We're doing like we're playing a community slash tournament with Nev and them, and we go up against Paul's team first, and he's playing Zeus, and
that's tough.
They definitely protected the fuck out of Zeus. It's crazy what happens when Zeus gets to cast and gets protected.
Yeah, it's crazy when the mid laner that hits their abilities.
That's the deal with any damage character. It's like if the damage character is protected, you're just kind of fucked.
Well, then it was one of those moments where he was kind of isolated for a second. I was playing Erlang, and I was like, all right, this is my chance. All right, I think I can out DPS him. And I go on him, and all of a sudden the Kabrakan blinks out of nowhere, shells him, ults me, ones me, he starts trembling. I'm getting Zeus lightning. I'm like, oh god.
Oh man, yeah. I don't have any other games. I kind of ranted off to the side there for a bit. My bad.
I mean, those are some wild games.
There are some wild games.
And you know what else is pretty wild? The patch that's going to be coming up here. 9.12 Odin's Onslaught.
We're finally getting an adventure.
The last
a true adventure, a true original, unique adventure.
Finally.
I love it.
It's been years. And this looks sick.
It's been years.
Dude, the map looks so cool.
It does. This is the most hype I've been in a long time.
I love the look of the map. Like the screenshots they showed. I didn't play PTS this weekend. I know it was up on PTS. I mean, I guess I could try it today. I'm excited for this. And I'm hoping, I don't know if anybody knows if there's custom games for it or not. But if there is, if we can set up custom games, I plan on focusing the Uber Casual Smite tournament for this month around it.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
This is one of the few adventures I'm kind of actually excited for. Usually they were fun for a couple of games, I feel like, before for me, and then I would be like, all right, I'm kind of over it. But this one I feel like could be something I actually go back to.
This one's so different than... I mean, I guess we had the Medusa's death match.
Yeah, I'd say that's the kind of the closest it's to.
Yeah, because this is the 5 teams of 2, right?
Yeah, so it's 10 players in total.
Yep. Which makes sense. That's kind of, the general player per map maximum that they've established.
Well, and I like that they already banned gods ahead of time, so we don't have to worry about like broken things coming through and breaking the map. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was saying, you say that.
But I mean, like, well, they went ahead and said, hey, like, we're getting rid of Aphrodite, Kleena, Yorm, Giannis, Jingwei, Morgan, Heimdallr, and Persephone, and they banned items ahead of time, which I think is going to be good here. So like, there's no like Hand of the Gods, any of the eyes, and no teleports. Yeah. So I think that feels pretty good. But I like that we're getting like a full PvE VP map. I'm kind of curious about the actual scale of it because I don't know just from the pictures about how big this map is.
How big is this? Right.
It looks to be the size of like maybe from like each area, because there's 3 different ones. I think looks the size of like your fountain to slash to Apophis. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Because it's a lot wider.
I think that it's wider, and so I don't think it is. I think the size of this might be Conquest to tier 2 tower
Maybe.
for one of the like, quarter circles or whatever those are, third circles.
Yeah, there's a lot of junk.
It's a pentagon, roughly.
Yeah.
With some like chunks into it. But 5 different start zones, unique Nidhogg mechanics, and also talking about Nidhogg, we got some fire skins coming out.
Yeah, these skins are good. And we have some of them are the Yule Fest skins, so you'll get those gift tokens you can give out.
Yep.
So that part's really good.
And it looks like, they release, bonus update 1, bonus update 2, and then the patch skins. So you'll have time to get them all. Different roles. There's a great video on YouTube by Blaise McBain where he goes in depth on the patch. If you don't want to read the patch notes, go give it a watch. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, if you can't read or you just don't want to read, I make a video so you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
This one's on a little bit of the longer side because it's a bigger patch, and I go through like dev notes and everything when I do these. So it's like I think like 20 minutes, but it's a good listen. It's on YouTube for people that don't want to like watch the video and just want to be able to listen, because I had that as like a request, even for like podcast stuff to go on YouTube. So it's all on there. I go through and talk about all the dev notes and like things I think will change based off of it. If people have feedback, let me know. I'm always happy to change it. It's something new that we're kind of doing. I've been doing it for like 2 months. I've learned some things about the YouTube algorithm, like latch patch. You don't name it that patch because YouTube just buries your video. That's fun facts of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe if you put Riggs in the title of it, maybe it'll
that seems to be working for us. I actually haven't checked the metrics if that's working.
I haven't either.
But
that's funny. I still think that's funny. I was listening to that episode and I was like, yo, it's always interesting when you have like an episode title that kind of like pops off compared to the other ones, and the only difference is like the title. But
yeah.
I've been testing this on streams with Vio's little guys, not his specifically, but I get like different emotes to see, does that draw people's attention to the titles? I've realized if I make a funny title, like when Lancelot came out, I'd be like, oh, Lanza who? Or like base it off their name.
Yeah.
Or I add these like little emotes in, does it get more clicks onto the Smite streams? And it seems to actually like slightly work. But if I just go like a regular stream, like, hey, it's Smite Night Qs, that doesn't do as well. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had I think episode 1 is still the most listened to. But then like, I'm trying to remember, it was me, Fro, Famous, and I can't recall if there's another host that was on that episode, but it's like, we have a real conversation about Smite, and it's like, what does that even mean? But like, it was right, but apparently people like the real, real was the buzzword there.
Well, it's also the first episode.
No, for episode 1, but the real have a real talk about Smite, that was like a different episode. That was like, I want to say in the 30s or something. But yeah, it's interesting how like sometimes you hit a buzzword and it works, and Riggs was the buzzword for us for that one.
I am latched on. I've mentioned it now the past like 3 episodes because I'm latched onto it.
You're really hammering it home.
Yeah, because it makes me laugh, and it also is a little confidence boost. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Gotta gas you up.
I mean, yeah, because nobody else does that enough.
No, nobody. I'm super excited for it. I like the skins. I like the adventure. I think with the Worlds prep, they shouldn't be making like large changes to my knowledge. So I don't know if there's any like mechanics going on. You said they changed Neath too,
dude. Okay, yeah. So do you want me to get into these? We tend to do like a 1 or 2 things we like, 1 or 2 things we don't. We don't want to go through all the patch notes.
Right.
I mentioned Neath before we started because there's only a few gods in the game that are they're so symmetrical, right? And what I mean by that is their 3 main abilities all have like a 15-second cooldown, and their ultimate is 90. That's like the standard.
Yeah.
Neath has been one of those gods for so long and now she is no longer part of the club because they decreased her cooldown on the 2 by 1 second, which is fine. She might have needed a buff, but now she's not symmetrical, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I think there's who else is like. I think no, Scylla's not like that. No, Scylla might be like that. No, she's not. Her 3's not longer cooldown. I forget. There's a couple of gods like that that are still symmetrical.
Like
they're like
symmetrical across
yeah, it's like 15,
abilities.
15, 15, 90 or 75 or 9,
Yeah.
whatever the ult is, but it's like they're all the same.
Yeah.
But shout out to Neath though, she can now backflip through player made walls. So Ymir, Odin.
Big nerf to Ymir, because Ymir wall got nerfed too.
Okay, that was gonna be my other one too. I actually really like the Ymir wall nerf. It needed some change. Like I love Ymir. He's probably my favorite guardian, but his wall is OP, and the fact
huge.
that it's scaled
It's
down
huge.
right now, the way it currently works is it scales down to 10 seconds if you level it, and it also lasts for 6 seconds. So it's only ever on cooldown for 4 seconds.
It's really good.
And you can cancel it early, and that helps out a lot. So it's like it needed a little bit of a shift, and that's what it's getting. It's getting a little bit of a shift. It's only gonna last 4.5 seconds at max rank, and it won't scale down and cooldown anymore. So he will not always have his fucking wall up like he does now, which is good for everybody. A little bit of a nerf team.
Honestly, I'm surprised it's on that short of a cooldown in general. I feel like generally Guardian abilities are supposed to be like super long cooldowns, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it's his best ability too. It's by like not even close.
So the fact that it even the fact that it's 13 seconds,
it's still not that bad. Like I feel like that's a good.
Yeah,
shift.
no, that's still strong. It's still strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this takes him like vastly out of competitive play. I think it just makes him more livable in competitive play and in casuals.
he's not so frustrating. I feel like.
Overbearing, right?
Because only having a 4-second downtime on a wall is crazy. Like
Yeah.
But that's all I got. I don't know if Blaise, you have anything like one.
Oh,
or two
dude,
things
I got something. I got 2 things. Easy. First of all, we're getting Prime Gaming skins. This is not an ad. You're getting Prime Gaming skins.
This is not an ad.
For all the teams. All the teams are getting like recolored skins in the game, which I think is pretty cool. So it's based off like the old like skins that we've seen for like London's Conspiracy Poseidon. I think we had like Allegiance Athena, like that. We're getting Pro League skins for all the teams, and they're through Prime Gaming. So if you have that, you don't have to pay extra for them. You just get them. So I think it's pretty cool.
I forgot about that. I remember seeing a big uproar about that because they were like, they're so lazy. They just reskinned old skins. Like, what do you want them to do? Like,
that's fine. Honestly,
like, they're doing
update
something.
an old one. Do it. Yeah.
I think Zap has 3 championships, and I'm kind of surprised there's not like a Zapman skin. And not saying like his likeliness, but like just like a skin like representing like him being the first like 3-time world champion.
Like, pick one of the teams that he was on.
Yeah.
Pick one of his like favorite gods or the god he played during one of those championships, and put Zap in it.
Yeah.
I think they'll do something for the map when he retires. Like,
for sure.
Like they'll put like a Zapman like on fire giant, like something like like how they do like the little like engravings or whatever. They'll do like a Zapman times 3 or something. I don't know, or however many he ends up winning. Who knows? If he
Put him in the Gold Fury pit as like a gold chalice or something.
Put like a little statue of like 3 world championships or however many he ends up winning, and then like Zapman underneath it.
It's a statue of thorns, and no, I think the change. I don't know. I'm excited to see how it goes because this is something I'm running for an Olympian on. Is about conquest or about ranked conquest or ranked in general is something I'm running for if I make it into the voting stage. And they're gonna test starting December 13th through the 20th. They're gonna test what they call unlimited conquest ranked, and this is gonna be a queue where you can do anywhere from solo to 5 stacks. It's not going to be straight duo queued. You can 5-stack conquest ranked. It's only going to be available at certain times of the day. So So it's expected to fire. It's expected to fire 3 times during the day. It's at 10 a.m., 6 p.m., and 2 a.m. Eastern. But you can queue as a full party of 5. And I think that's kind of cool because it gives people that are in the competitive community if I don't want to have to look for
time
scrims
to queue. You don't have to look for the scrim, right?
I don't have to look for the scrim that's annoying to set up, or a team shows up an hour late and then comes to someone's chat and BMs them during a cast.
Right.
Hashtag that guy's an idiot. And like things like that. I think it gives like a way to be able to go queue.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for it. I want to see how it goes. I don't know how long the queues are meant to be up. Like, is it just enough for a game?
Right. Is it just a singular, you have to be in the queue by 2 to make the lobbies? Because then if someone throws the lobby, you're fucked, right?
Yeah. I would imagine
you missed your chance.
That it's going to probably be like 2 hours. Hour or two is kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I think along with that, what I'm interested of is this is based off of current MMR rules. So it says this queue will inherit your ranked conquest progress and reward TP and MMR towards future ranked conquest matches played in the solo duo queue.
Here's the thing. I think it should take in like your conquest MMR, but also it should consider your ranked MMR a bit.
Yeah.
If you've got so many games in ranked, it should take that into account.
The downside is they're disabling ranked joust for the week. That's the downside.
I mean,
and
that's not that big of a downside.
So I have like I don't think it's that big of a downside because I don't think they would have disabled it if this was a largely played game mode. I think it's probably the one that they're seeing the least amount of players in, which is why they're disabling that queue to go ahead and try out this ranked conquest experiment. But I'm curious to see how it goes. I think I'm a huge advocate of getting more people into ranked, even though I haven't played a lot myself this season. I'm probably going to start queuing, this coming up week. I do like to play ranked, but like being stuck in duo queue feels kind of weird. But also the fact that you can't play with people on controller is the stupidest thing in existence. So I don't see why we don't have crossplay in ranked queues. It's in Overwatch. It's in any other game that exists. So it's weird to me.
It really is like an input advantage to a certain extent, but
I mean, yes and no.
I think what you would find is that at some point there would be if you combine the controller and the mouse and keyboard pools, then you'll gradually start to see mouse and keyboard towards the top half of the ranked pool. And the people that are on controller won't make it higher.
See, I don't think so.
In the rank.
We have people that are queuing right now on PC with a controller, and they've reached GM. So I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I do think, like, obviously, like, a GM console player may not reach GM on PC. That is a possibility. Like, maybe, like, they're an ADC player, and, like, that advantage does affect them. But, like, if first-person and third-person shooters are allowing cross-play ranked in their platforms to enlarge their competitive play, then I don't know why we're holding back is kind of where I'm at. Like the complaint is like, and you see this amongst high-end ranked players is like, the queues are always the same. The queues are always the same. We want uncapped MMR. Well, if you allow the controller players in, your pool gets vastly larger because it's the same thing when people were like, Smite's dying. Look at the Steam charts. Like the vast amount of players aren't on Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, we all want to believe that, but like console, I bet console has a majority of their player base. I just don't think that's not the case. Sorry for the double negative, but it's one of those things. I think opening that up brings a huge avenue for them. I don't know. I'm excited to see this because I think it's a step towards that direction of like, hey, we're willing to look at ranked and make adjustments, not just to MMR. Like, and how you earn it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where if the player's good enough to be in the queue with you, why does it matter what they're playing on? Like,
yeah, I mean, I played in comp with controller players and gotten stomped by controller players. I had a controller play in mid. That's probably one of the best mid laners I've ever played with when I was playing Masters comp.
I think
if you're
it might be a bit of an ego thing where it's like we don't want to let them because there's always the stigma of the console players are worse, but I mean like not really. Every console player I played with is like in a competitive setting like Blaise saying, like, I've played with a couple console players and they're fucking insane. So it's like It's I don't see why you wouldn't. Like it's only I feel like it's only a good thing if you let them come in because then there's more population for ranked. Like
Yeah.
Well, and I guess it goes the other way too. Then it's like if there's worse players on mouse and keyboard, like it'll all level out, I suppose.
yeah, it wouldn't make a difference if you're playing
is.
against bad players on PC. If you're not the best player on PC and
Yeah.
you're playing against people in your skill range, it doesn't make a difference if you're playing against your people in skill range on PC and on console. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The only place I think that's an exception is Switch, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Last time don't give me. Last time I played on Switch, 22 crashes trying to get into a Smite Night game, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Switch
Yeah,
can't even run
it's,
Pokemon, dude. Let them worry about their own first party shit.
Hey, they can run Zelda though.
You know, sometimes it is what it is. New game with Smite assets, DKO.
Yeah. Ymir is OP in that game, dude.
Of course.
They might need to nerf him in there. It's not his wall you need to worry about. That character has so much CC. It's such a good game.
Yeah, it's a little chibi fighter with Smite assets, right?
Yeah, and so it's like a brawler. You have so you have 1v1, 2v2s, and 3v3 queues.
Okay.
1v1 and 2v2s are exclusively knockouts. Like it's basically like you're fighting. As soon as you knock someone out, like they're eliminated. Yeah, it's straight smash, one stock. 3v3s, however, are unlimited stocks, but you get game modes like Oddball, King of the Hill, Coin Rush, Knockout. I feel like I'm missing one. Okay. But there's a good bit of diversity. I would like to. I'm curious to see what they add. Like I think like a Juggernaut mode for customs would go like hard. I think it'd be super fun. I think
being able to adjust the stocks, like how I don't know, like standard fighters are now.
Yeah, I think for custom games they need to look at like, can I play Knockout, but like they each get 3 stocks. I think that's something for them to definitely look at. I think that's going to help their competitive environment maybe a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, there's no ranked in it yet, so we'll see how that goes. I was watching. I read Biakai's tweet yesterday, and he won like 81 games in a row. He won 27 stats straight yesterday,
Jesus
which is insane.
Got to make sure you have that internal ranking system ready to go.
Well, like what's funny is so they have a survey out on the DKO Discord, and it's like give us your feedback. And one of the questions is like, what's your account level? And I was like, oh, well, this is embarrassing. My account level is 0 to 10 but if you look at how many hours I've played the game, like I should obviously vastly be ahead of that because I've literally just been running custom games. I've played like 6 to 7 hours of customs this week with the community, just having a blast. I also queued with Aereo in 3v3s and we got bopped for like 6 straight matches until I played the Ymir. And if I want to win, I just play Ymir.
Easy peasy.
But I think it's a cool game. I think there's a lot of potential. I'm curious to see who they're going to add first. I know they're going to add Zeus from what I've heard. It got leaked, so yay for Zeus. Don't know how that's going to play out, but like I'm curious like what's their plan on God releases and like how often.
Yeah.
I will say this. Shoutouts to them to not having a battle pass at launch. That's what I like the most, I think, out of everything is like they're waiting to see how the game performs, get data back before like, hey, yes, there is a founders pack for like different things, but like there's not just an inherent battle pass right at the beginning, and I do like that.
Yeah.
Overall,
I think that's
it feels
something
really good.
a lot of games kind of rush into. It's like get your game established before you start trying to monetize it a whole bunch, you know?
There's a sick skin in there though. There's a Tim the Tapman skin, and it's good. It is so good. You throw Kevin the Penguin at people. It turned the boulder into the penguin. You get to Kevin people off the stage. I love it, dude. Getting hit by a penguin or throwing a penguin and hitting them off the stage is muy bueno. It just adds so much to the KO.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely you're going to get it's going to attract more people when you do stuff like that, right? When you create skins for streamers and such. It's like, "Oh, well, now I want to play that game, and I need to unlock this character, so that I can get this skin, right?"
And not only that,
And it's like, how do you do that? Do you buy the game or God pack, if it's free to play? Or, how do you go about it? So
I think that part's cool. We've seen some like bigger name fighting game streamers playing it too, which I think is good. Like Maximilian, who like plays a ton of fighting games, was playing it on stream the other night, and I don't think it was like sponsored content.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I hope it does well. I think Hi-Rez has learned from the mistakes of old school Realm Royale. Or I like to believe they have, and game's doing well right now too. It's actually they've been doing patches for the past few months, and they're on the up and up. They added engineer back to the game. I love that. So I don't know. I'm excited about DK. I've been playing a lot. I don't know what I can announce and what I can announce that I have my hands in for DKO, but I can say there's tournaments coming soon.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go beyond that based off of some messages I received last night, but if you like competitive, there might be a place for you.
So I haven't played it at all, but I've looked at some people playing it.
I've watched it. I've watched some people playing it.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Something that I do really like about it is I like the art style for it, and it kind of makes me wish, like, it kind of makes me imagine what Smite would look like with an updated engine and like kind of like an overhaul, and it kind of makes me like, damn, like imagine, but I know it's like almost impossible to do.
Yeah, that's tough.
But it does. I'm like, damn, dude, imagine Smite looking like this, and like maybe not, all chibi, but just the visual style of it. It looks super clean. I'm just like, damn, dude, one day.
I mean, I thought that with Fortnite's update last week, they added Nanite Tech, Lumen, and like several other like Unreal 5 engine upgrades that released, and obviously Epic owns the engine, so like it's easier for them to make that adjustment to another to updates like that. But it's like, dude, like everything has its own shadow in Fortnite, dude. Like the grass has its own shadow. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's too much.
It is too much.
I don't need my grass to have shadows.
I don't. But I just think about Smite with a better engine. Like, or
for sure,
an engine update, like, it would be so good. I would, I'd be
It would
happy.
absolutely be chef's kiss. But like, here's the thing: it's like, how long would recoding the game take? And
well, they're in Unreal 3. So I mean, they could stay within Unreal.
Yeah. You just have to go to the next Unreal.
Sure, but it's also like they're bug fixing it around like, how many Smite bugs are there, and how like the Morrigan. Like, the Morrigan causes so many problems. Do we remember the everything is Apollo bug?
Hey, nothing's as bad as what happened in League with their update, where they had a character that could turn into the fountain turret and anywhere on the map and just run people down and one-tap them.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, it's not... people hate on Smite for our bugs, but, like, we didn't have that. So, that's a dub. I don't think it's... I mean, I do think it's hard, obviously, to swap engines, but I think like if you're staying with Unreal, I'd imagine it's a bit easier. Do I think we'll ever get it? I don't know. But maybe some of those bugs don't exist if we're in Unreal 4 or Unreal 5.
If you're in an updated... Well,
yeah.
And so I guess one of the like behind-the-scenes things I've heard always is like, spaghetti code. Because it's like, when you're developing a game, how can you imagine that it's going to get that big and that you're going to change things that you thought were like structured a specific way when you originally designed the game? Like, we've got like global anti-heal in the game now. Like, like you couldn't have imagined that healing would have gotten out of control because of power creep, and you had to nerf healing across the board everywhere,
But look at the last year of changes. Like, in the sense of like, we have non-quest specific buffs and nerfs now, which didn't exist before. I mean, like, there are changes that are being made that makes me feel like spaghetti code is getting taken care of, but also makes me like more hopeful that maybe a transition like that would be possible. But obviously, I think that's a way. I think it's a ways away if it does. But I think for the longevity of the game, like, you have to start considering how do we continue to put forth this product that people want to be interested in and help it grow further.
And they would have to slow down on the changes long enough to start implementing the new code, right? And so I think what we would see if that were to happen, I'm not, obviously I have no clue. But I imagine you would see like changes like slow down to like almost a grinding halt like halfway through the year. And then the entire back half of the year would be like either small changes. We wouldn't see probably any new gods. We wouldn't see any new mechanics, any new items.
Yeah, it would be
Nothing
a fast
while they're doing that development. And I think it would just slow down the game so much that people would lose interest, you know, because obviously they don't want to like not have worlds. And then they would have to release it after or announce it at Worlds, right?
I would say that's debatable after the whole Worlds fiasco this year. But I have my own theories on that.
Yeah. No, they definitely got peer pressured by the community into having
Did they?
Worlds.
Or did they want to see if the community would react the way they did? I don't know.
No, I think they got peer pressured into it.
I'm kind of with Blaise on this one. I don't think it was fully they weren't going to plan on doing anything.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of both. I think they didn't plan on doing anything big, and then they kind of were testing the waters a little bit.
Yeah, I think they definitely were like, let's just see how they react.
And now it's a WWE move, right? They're gonna do that, and then now they get to be a babyface and say, well, here we go, here's what you guys wanted, and now they're in good standings. You know, it's like,
yeah. It gave them the moral W.
Yeah, exactly. They got to play. They got to play face.
I don't know. They announced Worlds too late for me. It's like I needed
that's
to
what
have
happened.
travel plans in place. You know, and it's like I'd love to go. I wanted to go, but they announced it like 6 months too late. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna cancel the plans that I had made in that 6-month period because you announced it late.
Well, my problem was they put it in Texas. Is like because I was fully expecting if they did it was to be in Atlanta, and I had plans to take care of that. To go to Texas, yeah. I can't do, unfortunately, this with childcare and stuff.
Yeah, that's tough. So
on a positive note, I just finally booked my plane ticket.
Let's go.
I am going.
On another positive note, I'd like to remind everyone about our community corner, making the best god, picking an ability from each class, 5 abilities, 5 classes. Make sure you get it in there. I feel like we might be reading this off pretty soon if we do, because let's see. We've got 2 pre-records that are going to be happening, right? One of them already happened, but it hasn't been released yet. We've got likely another one that we're recording next weekend as a pre-record. And then we have the episode that comes out that week. So if we don't do it for next week's episode, then we're going to be doing it. Gosh, let me pull up the calendar.
January, baby.
It would be January 11th, which would be a recording on the 7th or 8th. So if we don't get enough answers, community, then I don't know. That, you know, it's gonna be like it's gonna be an entire month until we get to it.
It's gonna be like when
I'm gonna forget.
So long saying nothing.
I did. You're right. You're right. I did. And you know what? I'm issuing the challenge to that. My God, best God, easy peasy.
You think yours is better than mine, dude? Nice try.
I think mine's better than yours.
Well, you haven't beaten me so far, so.
I have. So, you know, I'm gonna put this as the challenge out. You know what? I'll even read it off right now. Right?
You're gonna give him an advantage right now?
I'm gonna.
This is
he
all
can't
like
beat
when
me, so
Riggs.
there's no advantage.
This is all
there's
like
no
Riggs
advantage if you can't beat
on the
me.
pre-recorded episode. This is where he like baited me in fro. This is all.
That's fake news, by the way. If I guess your passive, can you change your passive? Because I know it's Ymir passive.
It's absolutely Ymir passive. And if you say right here and now that you will not pick Ymir passive, then I will change it.
No, I wasn't planning on picking Ymir passive. No, you can keep Ymir passive. I'm just giving you shit. I wasn't planning on picking it. I don't think that's the best passive.
It's so strong. 100% auto attack damage and then a 20% damage taken, damage dealt swing. That's huge. And then for abilities, we're choosing Bastet 1, Achilles 2, Chiron 3, and a Hades ultimate.
No.
Dog shit.
That's not that.
All right.
That's not the
That's
best
it.
thing you could have
That's
made.
it.
That's not
That's
it.
absolutely the best thing.
Oh my god.
Dog shit. All right.
Absolutely.
So
What class is this god?
well, that's the point. Is you're taking one ability from each class. You're making like a mega
Yeah.
god,
So
basically.
like, yeah. But
Yeah.
what's your like auto chain? Like, is it like ranged autos or?
Ranged autos, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
maybe
kind of
I don't
left out
know.
the autos in the class, like whether it's physical or magical, because you're combining so much shit. So it's like that's
Yeah.
kind of separate.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can.
Chiron 3's the dash you chose.
Well, I've already got the leap. I've already got the Bastet leap.
So you have 2 leaps. So what if I have a cripple?
Oh,
I have a
this
leap
man,
dash.
this man wants to leap, dash, and then leap back halfway across the map.
Yep.
You know, it'd be crazy.
You're
is
super
if-
safe.
What happens when you run into an RDO?
Hades
don't.
ultimate.
You-
Hades ultimate.
Hades
It's
ultimate.
easy. You
Yeah,
Hades
I'm a
ultimate. I
I'm a
planned for
Hades
this.
ult the full tank RDO.
Exactly.
That's always a solid
Interesting.
plan.
You use your Achilles 2, you get a fuck ton of protections, and then you Hades ultimate.
Oh yeah, you're not dying to the RDO, but you're also not playing the game. I don't know. I think you can do better.
Probably, but you know what? Maybe people, hear an ability they're not thinking about.
Blaise,
I've
I'm
seen,
expecting an answer from you. You don't have to do it this episode, but I'm expecting a submission from
Yeah,
you. 'Cause now you know what you're going up against.
Yeah,
You know.
I just was really thinking like, Danza passive has to be good.
There's a lot of
Is
good
it, though?
passes.
Yeah, you get gold that stacks into power. It's a free item power spike.
It's true.
It is true. That's why you can
Does-
build
it
Gilded
does
on them and
add
get away
up.
with it. Other than that, the item sucks. Unfortunately, I want it to be good so bad, but it is not good at all. Unfortunate. I'll think of an answer at some point. Not right now,
Yeah,
because or else I'm gonna say something. I
You're
thought
gonna
of
say
two.
something that
I thought of 3 or 4 abilities that go together right now, and I was like, that can't be good. I need to think about this.
Right.
Right. I mean, like you
That's
said,
not
like
it.
like Dep went on his long thing about saying nothing. You have until January
Yeah.
basically to.
I'm definitely
have to,
taking.
so.
I can tell you this.
You
I'm
probably
definitely
have
taking
until
Charybdis
January.
3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Of all
that's,
the
Because
Hunter-
even if you're a tank,
of all the hunter abilities.
yeah,
Charybdis
yeah.
3.
I think. Oh,
It is good, but it also doesn't. I,
I
feel
think
like
I might
it's
take it.
really
I don't
buggy
know.
too.
It's got a
Like-
bit of a wind up.
Yeah, it takes like.
it does have a
weird-
wind
it's
up.
got a weird
But
wind up,
as
too.
a tank, imagine that you just like avoid all their CC and then you just pop up out of the ground and you're like, haha, you fight me now.
You could also
feels
run
pretty
away.
good. You could
Right
not.
away,
No,
so
we're not doing
Dep,
that. We're
if
not-
you're
no.
running away, Dep, no, you're not running away. All right, you're
I-
going
Here's
I
the
in.
thing,
like-
I don't think you get the knockup, do you? Because you don't.
Yes, you
have
do.
Charybdis passive.
Oh,
Yeah, you wouldn't have the passive, so.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't.
That's the
All right, I
thing.
don't know.
A lot
I
of
think about it.
God's kits are very intricate and woven together. The abilities I picked have nothing else to like. They don't play into like kit styles.
It's
Like there's a
funny-
lot of gods that I've been looking at, and I just discount them because it's like, oh well, this ability gets so much better because of this other ability on the god.
It's funny what
Yeah.
happens when you take away a god that's designed to work and flow together as one kit, and you take away parts of that kit and expect them to work together with other kits. You're like, oh
Yeah.
wait, it doesn't work like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, CC. Do you want me to at people or?
Yeah, we can do an at to make sure everybody. I only see two big posts. That's it. We need some more. We
Yeah,
need
I
some
saw this
more
get
in here.
posted, and I just hadn't got to work on it. I've been writing letters of rec for people.
You had finals week, man.
Yeah.
Finals week's been happening. So
It is. I have 3 finals to give this week. Shoutouts to me teaching physics, a thing I shouldn't be teaching. Let's go.
Hey,
It's a fun time.
physics isn't bad. It's kind of
It's not
like
bad.
science math.
But I'm a math
No.
teacher.
So
Here's the
science
problem.
part-
Here's the problem. I'm co-teaching is really the strange part. So it's not just me.
that's
What makes
weird.
it weird. Yeah. It's a weird time. Kind of like Bastetting and then threeing and then Chiron threeing down the map. But I'm gonna let it go, Dep. I'm gonna let it go.
But listen, you can chase that ADC down with autos. You fly back. You're under tower again, baby.
Like, just take Thanatos ult instead. Like, I don't know.
I did consider an execute ultimate just because.
Yeah, the props from the 2.
It's huge, but I liked the Achilles 2. I thought that was an excellent ability. If you look at everything that goes into that, it's huge.
Can I take buffed horse ult from season 5 where you could fly halfway across the map?
Yes, dude.
Let me just pick one of Release Guan's abilities, and that
was a classic if you paid attention to SPL at that time, because Genetics got it. That was his rookie year, and they buffed Horus for approximately 2 weeks, and then they nerfed Horus because they reverted the change because Genetics abused it at SPL.
Yeah, I remember them changing that. I was like, I think this is busted. And then they got played in SPL, and I was like, yeah, but it's good.
It is busted. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You could fly like the entire map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good.
Well, all righty. Let's see. What else do we have on the list here? I think we got thank yous, boys. I think we're done here.
Yes, sir.
I think we got some people to thank, and I think we're going to get out of here. So we're thanking Sadons for the thumbnails. We're thanking Raging Cajun for the artwork. And we're thanking all of our lovely patrons. Your names are Aereo, Asbestos, Briss, Chassion, Weatherman Keefe, Jade Flagon, Baseball, Griff, Bombi, Danny, Caveman, Neo, Coffin Monkey, CDR Litz, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Sir Embers, K-Brojo, Freak, Stoff, Backlash, Sadon, Dr. God, Fokker, Lantern, Reese, Warlordio, Bats Kid, Echo Dunk, Dot, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Drakon, Glen Wiggle, Granite Boys, Camo House, Void vs. Void, Enbright, Sloppy Sanch, Scion Gemini, Batman, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man 77, Colorado, Amberbug, Folk Hero, and The Big Red. Thank you all.
Thank you. I feel like that list gets huge. Like it gets bigger and bigger every time.
It's so big. Yeah. Yep. More people decide to support, more names get read off. That's how it works.
Oh, also,
we never removed from the list.
As we speak, I'm still currently figuring out the Patreon website. I was able to log in yesterday, but then I had some errors. But I will get those Patreon episodes up there. Right now, they're just on SoundCloud, but I'll get them on there too at some point.
Yep. Well, alrighty. Blaise, is there anything you would like to plug? Can you tell us where we can find you?
You can find me everywhere as Blaise McBain. That's Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff. I also run Up Your Experience podcast, where we talk about like gaming news and games that we play during the week, and several other things happening in the gaming world. Majin Busha has a podcast over there as well with his NFL picks every week. He's been kind of popping off with his picks this year. I think he's like above 60%. I think he's like in that 67% range or so, which is pretty incredible through the whole NFL season. And I help run Uber Casual Smite with Leaf Order, Snorlini, Biakai, and all them. So check out some tournaments over there. I think we're hosting a DKO tournament and a tournament with Odin's Onslaught, if it can be made in custom games, is kind of our plan for the month, is what I'm looking at. So yeah, you can find me everywhere. I'm on Twitch a lot, more than I should be, so need some Smite streams. That's where they'll be.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right, boys, let's get out of here. See you guys on the other side of the battleground.
Deuces.
Bye.